Hey, I'm Broken World Entertainment, and we have an update on the production of Mission Impossible 8 that apparently its budget is starting to spiral out of control because it's getting delayed, and it's just been delayed again because a submarine stunt has gone wrong. Now, they say a submarine stunt, but when we look at this, it doesn't sound like a stunt, it just sounds like something that was kind of a mishap, basically. So we'll have a look at this. So original plans called for Mission Impossible 8 to be shot back to back with Dead Reckoning. However, the 8th installment was also originally titled Dead Reckoning Part 2, only for that to change when the first half underperformed at the box office. The sequel has since suffered a series of setbacks. Shooting began in March 2022 and was halted last July as a result of the strikes. Work resumed this March, and right now, the idea is for Mission Impossible 8 to be released next May. However, according to a new report from The Mirror, so we'll take it with a pinch of salt here, the movie has been hit by further delays, courtesy of, and malfunction with a submarine that's cost the production a whopping $23 million. According to the site, sources say the gimbal, which is used to lower the 120-foot high structure, jammed under the weight and had to be repaired. This has put filming back weeks and bumped up costs. A source said they're not happy as it puts production behind, which costs a lot of money per day. Production hit problems once they started adding fittings and stairwells to the empty sub shell and realised the contraption holding it could not tolerate the weight, the report says. Insiders say the repairs are ongoing. Now, what's interesting about hearing all this is you could film around that. While that's getting repaired and stuff, you just go and film stuff that doesn't involve the submarine. I don't think it's going to delay that much in that sense. But you hear there about what I mean by it wasn't a stunt. It's the thing that was holding it. Obviously, to probably put it into the water or something, the gimbal jammed. So that just means it didn't go up and down and whatnot. So, yeah, it's obviously an issue. I don't know why a repair like that would cost something in the region of $23 million. But whatever. By the way, as for the shooting dates, when you're hearing that it started way back in 2022, that's because they had started shooting it with Dead Reckoning Part 1. Because again, it was meant to be back to back. But then COVID kept delaying the first part, then the strikes and whatnot. So that's where all this went. But there's more here saying there have already been reports about the budgets for both Dead Reckoning and the untitled 8 movie running out of control. So we're sure Paramount Pictures won't be happy about this. In fact, Tom Cruise is thought to have clashed with the studio so often that he's moving on from them after spending the past 31 years of his career there. He's since signed a deal with Warner Brothers. There's also a part here saying various gossip sites are also running reports that Cruise is getting majorly stressed while attempting to get this next movie across the finish line. Mission Impossible 8, Cruise will reprise his role as Ethan Hunt alongside returning blah blah blah. It goes on about all that stuff. The part where it's saying like, oh, Paramount mustn't be happy about this is becoming a problem for them. Well, you have the issues that the first time Part 1 was shut down was COVID. And of course we got that footage and video of, I don't think there was footage, but the recording of Cruise going nuts at 2 members of the crew because they were breaching the COVID rules. And that's what he was giving out about. It was like, we've put money into this thing. You guys aren't adhering to the rules that keeps us here and operating and up and running, and you're putting that at risk. And they got shut down multiple times throughout COVID. Then, of course, you're starting to film this one, and then the strikes happen. I don't know why Paramount would get angry about that, because Paramount let the writers go on strike. They didn't try and say, "Oh, we'll give in to your deals" or anything. So, Hollywood, when it comes to the strikes and stuff, yeah, you all did that to yourself. But this report of this budget ballooning, well, it depends. How much are they going to come out and say it costs? Because again, the cost for this was tied in with the cost of the first one, because it was meant to be Dead Reckoning Part 1 and Part 2. And of course, Dead Reckoning Part 1 is now just known as Dead Reckoning, and this will be known as whatever title it ends up with. This is no longer going to be called a Part 2. This is the same issue I had hearing people talk about the budget for Avatar, when they were saying, I can't believe Avatar 2, I should say, cost almost $1 billion. It was like, no, it didn't. He filmed Avatar 2 and 3 back to back. Like, all the stuff with the actual cast, that was all filmed together. That's why that budget was so big. So this is the same kind of thing, where the budget is huge because it's both Part 1 and 2 back to back. But if they're hitting more delays, yeah, obviously that's going to cause a huge problem. And it's starting to say, like, oh, it might balloon as much as 400 million. Again, how much of the first movie is a part of that figure? You know what I mean? It's interesting though. People probably think now, oh, the submarine stunt, they're giving away what kind of big stunt there's going to be. No, it's probably the submarine that sunk in the first movie. The one that has the AI system on board. So obviously they were doing something with that. Again though, I don't see why you can't just film around that. Like, if the actors get injured, you just film around them until they come back and stuff. So same thing here. Okay, if that's getting repaired, we'll go and film this stuff then instead. I don't think it should be that much of a big deal. But who am I to know? But there you go. There's the update for Mission Impossible 8. Apparently it's hit another bit of a snag. Ironically, it doesn't say like that it's absolutely caused chaos on the set, that it's like delayed the release or pushed the release date back or anything like that. You notice it never said anything about that. It was simply, oh, it's just caused a bit of a delay because this thing needs to be repaired. So it sounds like it still could be on track to make that May release next year. So it's an entire year, so we'll wait and see. But there's the update for now until we get more information or other updates come out. So with that, I shall leave it there for this one. So cheers, and I'll catch you in the next one.